Hello everyone, in this video let us take a look at one common question asked on the community about missing field. Now this question, why there is no field available for due date for issue type bug. Now this question has been asked by Dattatreya Patil, why there is no field available for due date for issue type bug. It is actually one of the most common question that people ask when they start using Jira in the beginning. They wonder, where is my field? In Jira you have different fields. The fields could be system fields like summary, reporter, assignee, priority, and so on. So there are some system fields and there are some custom fields, but you always have the option to define what fields you want to use in your project, and not only your project but also for a specific issue type. Now there is a concept of screen in Jira, and using screens you basically define what fields you want to display for specific operations. So in Jira we have 3 operations related to issues. So you create an issue, you edit an issue, and you view an issue. So you can always add fields to these screens, and then you can so basically there is a concept of screen, then you add these screens to the screen configuration where you define the mapping of screens and where they want to be displayed for which operation. And then you also define the mapping of screen schemes to the issue types. So for example, so there are 3 levels here, starting with of course the fields stored in a screen, which is of course custom field or system field and screen. The next level is or the next mapping is those screens mapped to different operations, create, view, and edit, and that is called as the screen scheme. The third mapping or the next mapping is basically the screen scheme and the issue types. So that is called as issue type screen schemes. Now in Jira there is a concept of schemes where basically you define some configurations, and those configurations are used by one or multiple projects. And this concept of issue type screen scheme is, I think, slightly complicated as compared to other things in Jira. So what you need to do is you can basically take a look at your project configurations and identify why this particular field is not displayed, and you can always add it if you want. So let us take a look at one project here. So let us say if I'll just create a new issue in a project called, let us say, Scrum. Now when I create a new issue, and by the way I'm using cloud, it is also this is applicable for Jira Server as well. When you create a new issue, you have the option to select your issue type, summary, and few other fields. Now you don't really see the complete form here. There could be different, the field might not be there on the screen on the form, but the field might also be just hidden from the view. So if you are, let us say, using Jira for raising a lot of issues and you just always want to fill maybe summary and assignee, you can actually remove these fields from your own view if you want. So you can display something like, so you can basically see here that we have fields like attachment, description, and so on. So this is something that you can do, but this will only work. These are the fields that are already there on the screen. They're just hidden from your view. Talking about due date, there is no due date here. So there is one thing that you can do is you can click on this link called where is my field, and let us say you are talking about a due date. I have two due dates, which is fine, and the moment you select the field, it will actually straight away tell you that due date is not present on the form you're viewing. So now you know the reason. But if you have to, let us say, take a look at the configuration, you can go to the project and take a look at the issue type, screen scheme, and then screen scheme, and then finally at actual screen. So I know it was a bit confusing in the beginning, but once you do it a couple of times, once you modify this, it will be clear. So I'm just trying to show you the screens here. So if you take a look at the project here, you have different configurations, and the one that I wanted to talk about is the screens. Now the configuration here or the scheme is called issue type screen scheme, because if you look at the configuration here, you have two mappings. The first mapping is the screen and the operation. So for this particular project, story, epic, task, subtask will have only one screen for all the operations. Same is true for bug. When you create a bug, when you edit a bug, or when you view a bug, you will be presented with this screen. The good thing about this issue type screen scheme is that you have the option to also define that when you create a new bug, you want to display the due date. But when you edit a bug, you don't really want to display the due date. So you can actually have three different screens for these three different operations for each and every issue type in your project. But in this case, of course, it is simple. And if the field is missing, the first thing that you can do is you can modify the screen to add a field. However, you need to be aware that this particular configuration, like in this case, Scrum issue type screen scheme, this scheme might also be used. In most cases, it is the case that it will be used by other projects. So if you add a new field here, it will be added for all the projects where you have that particular bug issue type. So I can add a field here, like maybe due date. I'm not sure which due date. I have two due dates, so I'll add both of them. So if I create a new issue, let us see what happens. So I'm trying to create a story, so there is no field. Let me just display all the fields so we can check quickly. And there is no field here called due date. I'm displaying all the fields, but you can also try to raise a new bug. And now we have this due date. So this is how you can add a field to your issue type used in a project. So this is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.